Awesome. Alrighty. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Rachel Mooneyhan. I'm the Director of Marketing here at Bravo. And I've got Christy here with me today, our Chief of Staff and resident mobile pawn expert. We'll be recording today's session and we'll send it to you after, along with some resources. If you have any questions while we're working through this, please feel free to chime in the chat. We'll keep an eye on it while we're working through everything. But yeah, we're excited to share with y'all kind of mobile pawn mania and how you can utilize all the features mobile pawn has and the resources that are part of mobile pawn to really help grow your business. So today we'll cover the basics of mobile pawn, just in case you're kind of feeling out mobile pawn while you're here. The latest innovations that we've come out with over the past year or so that might have been missed or we want to call out again. How you can leverage the app to get the most out of it, and then the resources that are available to use associated with mobile pawn. So the basics. What the heck is mobile pawn? It's a Bravo exclusive app that allows your customers to find your store, shop your inventory, chat with your store, initiate loans, and make loan and layaway payments without having to come into the store. And why that matters. Mobile pawn allows you to expand your reach, attract and retain new customers, drive growth without piling on costs and adding more bodies to your store, and then stay ahead of your competition, because having mobile pawn is a big differentiator, we found.
Yeah, and the probably most exciting things I look forward to every January is running the numbers to see how these products actually help our customers and what direct impact they actually have. And watching mobile pawn numbers grow throughout the years, past 4 years we've been tracking it, has been awesome. Every year, year over year, it continues to outperform itself. So the way that we set up these numbers, or the way that they're calculated, is we look at all of the Bravo customers who've been on our platform for 1 year, and specific to mobile pawn, they had to have at least taken in 50 payments. And then we look at all of those customers with mobile pawn, right, been on Bravo for a year, 50 payments, and then we compare them against the customers who don't have mobile pawn. And the result is that mobile pawn users process more transactions. In fact, 28,446. They collect up to 50% of their payments through mobile pawn. Their loan balances, mobile pawn users actually increased by $70,000, where when we took a look at customers who didn't have mobile pawn last year, their loan balance was flat. So that is a big difference between being flat and having an extra 70 grand loaned out. And then finally, mobile pawn users on average actually sold a lot more inventory too. And that's because of the shopping that is within the app. The number one thing the customer do after they make a payment is they actually go shopping. So a couple of figures that I think, as somebody who cares about the environment and one of our core values, not only did all of this happen at your stores, but the consumers last year, it's like 1.3 million hours in drive time. That's assuming everybody who made a payment drives 20 minutes to and from the pawn shop, right? That's a lot of hours of drive time saved, 1.7 million gallons of gas, and a whopping $26 million in gas and time combined. And that's assuming they're making 15 bucks an hour. So beyond it helping you, it is extremely convenient and awesome for your customers. So that is just some of the cool numbers we have from last year.
Awesome. And then as we talk to customers, when we see y'all out and about or visit, I feel like there's a lot of mobile pawn features that have been added that people don't necessarily know about or haven't had a chance to really explore. So we wanted to kind of highlight some of those for you, ones that can benefit you and ones that can really benefit your customers as well. So Christy, if you're ready to pull up mobile pawn, she's going to like demo it for us right here so we can see it. And again, if you have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Here we go. We're getting close. Okay, first up, get me there, Rach.
Okay, so first we have Store Finder. So Store Finder is so that customers can connect to stores near them. After connecting, customers can be added to your system automatically. They don't need an activation code from you or anything like that. And then we launched this in late February, and we've already had 12,000 customers added to Bravo users' stores since launching Store Finder. So, and it's super easy to use. Christy, do you want to walk through?
Yeah, so on the top left, I'm just going to select the hamburger icon, and then you cruise on down. It's about the third one down is Store Finder. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Store Finder. Now I've allowed MobilePawn. What you can't see on my screen right now, it gets blocked through the software. But what popped up is my geolocation. So I allow MobilePawn to geolocate me. So I say allowed, and then all of a sudden, based on my location, Reno, Nevada, suddenly pawn shops that are closest to me pop up first, followed by distances away. So that is Pawn Shop Finder. You can also put in your zip code, select search, and then all the pawn shops within that zip code closest to the one that I selected start showing up. And then there's all of the mobile pawn shops in the Las Vegas area.
I was going to say shops close to that zip code, but shops that have MobilePawn. So if you don't have MobilePawn, you won't show up in this list. And
that's correct.
12,000 customers have been connected to stores since we launched this like 3 months ago now. Alrighty, next on the list, MLA check. This prompts users to come into the store to make changes to their loan if their status has changed since they initially got the loan.
Yep, so this just automatically is going to happen for you when a customer selects My Pawns, then they go ahead and choose to make a payment. The first thing that they'll actually see as soon as it pops up here on the screen, there we go, is it's showing the interest, any fees that are due, amount to pay, and then you'll notice there's a checkbox. So if I select that I'm an active duty military service member or the spouse of one, you'll see, and then I choose checkout, Bravo's going to stop me and say, please come in and visit in person so that we can help you with your MLA loan. So this is to help you guys so that you don't have customers who are not qualified that choose now suddenly in MobilePawn they're qualified, and then that interest rate drops down to 3% per month. So we're not going to do that. We just prompt the customer to come in, brings them back to the screen. Now, if I go back in and try to make a payment now without that box checked, I am allowed to proceed forward. So if they choose not to check the box, then we will go back and allow them to process that payment.
Okay, and then the next thing we're going to show is Pawn Shop Swap, which is customers can now switch between stores. If they're customers at multiple pawn shops on Bravo, they can swap between stores in MobilePawn, which means they can make payments, shop inventory, belong to multiple stores, and switch between them easily within the app.
So this has actually been out for a little bit, but we were on Facebook recently and saw customers were asking, hey, it'd be really nice if we could do this. So we thought, well, we better remind people you can. So again, that hamburger menu on the top, and fourth from the bottom is pawn shops, and that's what you're going to select. So right now I am on the Bravo test store production, and that's why it's highlighted green. But let's say I want to switch over to Capital Pawn. I want to maybe shop their handbags. Now I'm in their company branded website, shopping their handbags. I don't find what I'm looking for. Well, let's try the other pawn shop. Let's try my gold and silver. So again, go back to pawn shops. I can switch to the gold and silver pawn shop. And now I'm shopping all of their inventory. So really nice, easy way to switch between stores. And then, like Rachel just mentioned, you can make payments at every location. So I just don't happen to have any loans or layaways at those stores.
Awesome. Okay, and then the final thing to demo today, customer support. So customers using MobilePawn, your customers, we now have customer support available for them. So they can go into MobilePawn, open a support ticket, and it opens a support ticket for the Bravo support team, same as when you all open a support ticket with us. So Christy can show how easy that is for them to go in and open one of those.
Awesome. So this was direct feedback that we did get from the MobilePawn user groups that we had last year was, hey, we're getting a lot of calls from customers and we really can't help them out. We don't even know what the problem is. We end up referring them to Bravo, and then, it becomes like a big deal. It's another phone call that you're getting. So we're like, well, let's reduce that phone call and just add in the support right into the app. So to those who voted and participated, thank you so much. It was a brilliant idea. We received tickets and were able to quickly help out those customers right away. So again, at that hamburger menu, you're going to scroll all the way down to the second from the bottom, which is help slash FAQ. And then the top button is request help. We also included frequently asked questions so customers can self-serve themselves if their issue happens to match one of these. Otherwise, they're just going to select request help at the top. We already know who the customer is. We know their email. They're just simply going to select from the most popular subjects that we've received or help reasons. So most of the time, it's either questions about fees they have, they're having trouble with either making a loan or a layaway payment, their funds or the payment was denied, but they're like, I have the funds available in my account. They're confused. They need help changing stores. They figured out how to add stores, but suddenly forgot how to change. Incorrect due or late payment dates. So on and so forth. But at the end of the day, other can also be an option. And then they can just describe their problem. They hit done and submit, and that ticket is directly sent to our support team where they will reach out and help your customer.
So that was it for the demo portion for now. Let me hop back into mine. Okay. Okay. Now for leveraging MobilePawn. So there's a lot going on. How do you take advantage of it? What can you do?
Yeah. So first up was Store Finder. What it also allows you to do is instead of putting in a zip code, it's kind of hard to see in the image there. But one of the options is to enter in a store code. This is your 6-digit store code that identifies who you are in our system, but you can share it with customers in advertising, whether that's radio, print, whatever you're doing. If you don't know your 6-digit code, give us a call. We'll give it to you. But what customers can do is enter in your 6-digit code. So the call to action in maybe this marketing message is, hey, download MobilePawn app, select Store Finder, and enter in code, whatever your code is, your 6-digit code. And then what that does is it only will display your store in Pawn Shop Finder, as opposed to directing customers who maybe you've never met before, go in, download MobilePawn, put in the zip code and find us. Right now you're amongst other stores. So this allows you to directly market to the customer, encouraging them to download the app and connect directly to your store. So that's first. The second thing I want to mention about, they don't have a loan, they don't have a layaway, they're now connected to your store, they're a customer in your store. What can they do? They can shop your store, they can chat with you. But what we're seeing a huge adoption rate in MobilePawn consumers is the buy, sell, quote, or borrow, sell, quote. And that's where they can go around and take items pictures of items that they might want to get a loan or a buy on and submit them directly through the app. So if you haven't ever checked out Buy, Sell, Quote, consumers are crazy for it. They really like it. What we actually need is more pawnbrokers to start adopting this technology. Second is how to leverage mobile pawn inventory listing. So all of the items that you're listing on your company branded site are going into that shopping button, right? And like I think I mentioned a little bit earlier, when we're tracking how consumers interact with the app, what we're finding is the thing that they're doing after they make any payment is, oddly enough, they start shopping your store. So what we have found is it doesn't necessarily result in online purchases, but what it does result in is more in-store purchases. So they're finding the items and then they're going into your stores and making those purchases. And then I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. The last one is sell, borrow, and quote. So that is, again, it's about disrupting. There's a lot of peer-to-peer selling going on, especially with Facebook Marketplace. This is the perfect opportunity to get in there. I know probably individuals like myself, and I don't know if it makes me older or what, but I'm not going to a parking lot to meet somebody to sell anything ever, and I'm not inviting them to my house, but I'll walk down to a pawn shop or drive to any pawn shop or make that attempt any day of the week where I can just go get immediate cash in a safe environment. So certainly getting in there and disrupting that peer-to-peer selling is super helpful for y'all. So if we have time at the end, I'll actually go through an entire transaction so you can see on the consumer side what it looks like, and then what you all need to do in Shopkeeper to get these customers in your store selling and getting loans.
Yeah. And I think outside of Store Finder, another really powerful way to leverage Mobile Pawn, something to not forget about, is that Bravo will send your customers invites to Mobile Pawn if you request it. Like, send them that initial text to get them to download the app at no cost to you. So getting that initial text to get them engaged in the app and get engaging with you, making those remote payments, all that, Bravo puts the bill for. So that's an important thing to remember when you're trying to figure out how to get the most out of Mobile Pawn too.
Definitely.
Okay, next up are resources that we have available. So we've got a couple things to help you with Mobile Pawn. Last year around this time, we mailed out what we call in-store marketing toolkits. So that includes stickers, display case cards, counter displays, flyers, and posters. We sent those out about a year ago to everyone that had Mobile Pawn activated at the time. And I send them out monthly to everyone that has activated since then. So if you're missing that kit, let me know. I'll send out an email after this with more information on how you can get in touch with me too. But this is a great way to encourage customers to download the app while they're in your store. Put items on layaway while they're there. Just that the app is available and it makes their life easier if they download it. So these are free resources. I'll also in the follow-up be sending the files if you want to print them again. You can send them to your local printer and they're print-ready files. We also have retractable banner files available, which I will send in the follow-up too, that when we get retractable banners printed for things, we just send them to FedEx and it's like $120 and they're easy to pop up in your store. We also have a design that you can pop your logo in the top of too. So it kind of brands Mobile Pawn with your store and kind of helps with that continuity there. So we've got all those free resources like printed materials for you all to use. We also have some celebrity endorsement. If you've follow Rick Harrison on social media of Gold and Silver Pawn and Pawn Stars fame, he has a very large social media following, and his store uses Mobile Pawn, and we got him on video talking about how much he and his team love Mobile Pawn and his customers love Mobile Pawn, and he shared a few of those messages across his social channels. Every time he shares them, we see an uptick in Mobile Pawn downloads because he's got a massive following on social media. So feel free to share those posts yourself if you share them from his channels on your own store's social pages. And I will also be we have some of his messaging on YouTube that I'll be sending out to you all too, to kind of put a familiar face behind the Mobile Pawn name and hopefully reach a few more customers that way too. And the last part of resources is push notifications. So it comes up all the time. Text messaging is getting more and more restrictive. It's harder to send text messages, harder to get everything worded correctly. So push notifications with MobilePawn are a great way to message your customers without any of those restrictions. So you don't have to be so mindful of exactly the language that's in your text before you send it. We also send out free payment reminders via MobilePawn, low cost custom notifications. So they're 2 cents per notification for push notifications versus 7 cents for a text message. So it's a lower cost. And then, yeah, no content restrictions. So you can talk about guns, you can talk about loans and not have your text flagged. We also have a webinar coming up in a few weeks that we'll be sending out more information on about mobile marketing. So push notifications and SMS texts with Bravo and how to send them out easily and figure out who you should be sending them to, all that, how you can leverage the data that's in Bravo to make those messages really effective. We've got a few minutes. Do you want to go into buy so quote?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll go back again.
And again,
And then if you have any,
any questions or anything, jump in the chat, and I'll be sending out probably tomorrow the webinar recording and all the resources we mentioned here, so you have those files ready to go if you need them. Yeah. All right.
right. Okay, so in MobilePawn, so I'm the customer, I want to submit an item. Let's say I want to sell it. So I'm going to select the sell, borrow, quote option, and we're going to choose sell. First thing it does, it's going to pop up my camera here. So I'm just going to switch to my recents, my Bravo photos here. And we're going to sell this Chanel handbag. So I just 1, 2, 3, pick the pictures that I want, and I choose next. What you can't see right now is that it's, again, geolocating me. It just doesn't show up. I'm just going to say allow. What that does is if you are a multi-store location, it's going to connect your customer to the location that is nearest them. Okay, so we can see we've got the 3 pictures already loaded up here. I'm going to say what I'm selling, which is the handbag. And we're going to go ahead and put a price. I'm looking for $500. Next, I choose the category, which in this case is general merchandise. You can see my zip code is in there based on my geolocation, and then I can add a description. From there, I'm just going to hit next on my keyboard, and then you can see it automatically check the store that I'm currently in now. Other stores that are within this organization. So these are all of Bravo's test stores. But I'm going to go ahead and select the Bravo test store because that's where my shopkeeper is at, and select post. And then that's it. I'm just going to wait for the magic to happen. In Bravo shopkeeper, then I'm going to have to probably sign in here. You're immediately notified. You can see there's a little 1 there with buy, loan, and quote. And when I go into it, there is the item we just submitted. So at this point, we can see where Christy is located. I can, at the bottom in blue, you can see there's accept or there's decline. And then in the middle of the screen there, there's send message or chat. So perhaps we want to ask more questions. Maybe we want pictures of the inside of the bag. Maybe we want them, to take a picture of the stamp for us. So we can message back and forth with the customer. And again, that's going to be immediate. So like for me, pawn shop I worked at, it was like, well, are you a smoker? How does that bag smell, right? Because we know if it comes in and it smells, we're not going to sell it for as much. So you can, chat back and forth. I'll just show you the quickness of that, including emojis. So we'll go back, and then the customer is notified that there's a chat to, apologize, my items. And then you can see there's the hi. So it's immediate. There's no, it's like as soon as you send that message, it's back and forth. So this time we're going to go ahead and I'm going to choose accept. No, it doesn't lock in the loan. Let's say it does come in and it's just not in the same condition. It doesn't mean you can't negotiate. There's nothing that's locking you in to buying this bag for $500. So we'll go ahead and choose accept, and then it moves the item in Bravo Shopkeeper to my accepted items. At the top, you can also scroll through and see everything that's been completed. So the items that people submitted, we actually brought in and did a loan or purchased. We can also see items that we just straight up declined because we weren't interested in them. Okay. So back at MobilePawn, our customer has just been informed. Congratulations. They can go ahead and select the link. It brings them to the store profile, which I don't have set up. But when they walk in your store, what they'll do is just pop up this barcode, and you're going to scan this barcode into Bravo's smart search, and it automatically brings in the customer, their information, images of the item, and the dollar amount that you all agreed upon. So there makes it really fast, customers in and out the door in no time at all. So that is borrow, sell, quote. Again, we have customers, MobilePawn consumers, your customers submitting thousands of items every month. What we want on the other side is you guys to start looking at them and accepting them and chatting with them. These are customers who want to come in your store. Some of them might have never taken a step in a pawn shop before. They saw Rick Harrison's video, they downloaded the app, you're near them, they're interested in coming to your store, but they're a little nervous. So this is like helping them get that first step, that first foot in the door. And again, over 12,000. I'm actually a little bit shocked. I wasn't expecting to see that many, but yeah, 12,000 in a very short period of time. And that's a lot of people interested in talking with you all and shopping your stores and being part of the pawn community. That's it. Unless there's any questions, that is borrow, sell, and quote.
Yeah, we've got a few minutes left for questions if anyone has them. There was one chat. Billy asked if he can send a MobilePawn text and talk about firearms, which yes, you can send a push notification through the app and talk about firearms without the restrictions, without dealing with the headaches. So it's a great way. And like, as we've seen over the past few years, the text messages are getting more and more restricted. So to already have this app established as a channel of communication with your customers and have them comfortable using it, just like gives you one more avenue to talk easily back and forth with them. Get through pushing.
And I'm happy to quick jump into Bravo and show everybody, in case you're not familiar with how to only send a push notification and not a text message, because that's really important. If you do send it as a text message, it will get blocked. So I just want to make sure. I'll jump in here. Am I sharing screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it is set up in the same spot, which is under your customers. Apologize. So customers, and then choose schedule mobile event like you normally would. You just choose add event. So it comes down here to custom. You can name your event. Here's the important piece though, is this drop down. What auto means is first, we're going to send it to your MobilePawn customers. If they're not a MobilePawn customer, then we'll send it SMS, right? So those would be restricted. What you want to do to make sure you have no restrictions on these messages is drop all the way down to MobilePawn. And now you can say whatever the heck you want. No issues, no problems. Talk about firearms, talk about loans. Just make sure you've got mobile, it's set to MobilePawn. Again, if you accidentally leave it at auto, they're not going to go through because we will stop them with our word finder or what have you, word blocker. So you won't get in any trouble. There won't be any issues. It just won't go through.
Awesome. And then kind of perfect timing. So wanted this to be a quick and dirty session. If y'all have any questions, feel free to send them, mine or Christy. Christy's way. hello@bravostoresystems.com is a great email to reach all of us. And I'll be sending out all the resources we talked about, as well as the recording of this webinar later on this week. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for supporting MobilePawn and being great users of it. We're excited to see the growth that's happening on the customer side too. 12,000 just since February is huge. I mean, just in Store Finder. So thank you all so much for being with us. Thank you, Billy. We're glad to see that you all love it too. And hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye, all.